Hey, welcome back to Happy Little Notaries. A question I got asked recently was, how do you grade S-Log footage? And I would say, like I normally do, I would grade it the same way I normally do. Yeah, that seems quite simplistic, but I guess there's ways to go about it. I saw in a recent video that I won't recommend, where they just took and put the S-Log LUT on. This is S-Log to Rec 709. And then they went about and started doing all the stuff on the back end. Node label slog to R709. Yeah, so just dropping the stock LUT from the manufacturer on the footage, and then they kind of went about and did all their work after it. So you can see we can just change. They worked here and did gamma exposure and things like that. You know, things happen. The settings got goofy. It was supposed to be set to full, but my scopes were set to whatchamacallit, for the video for some strange reason. I don't know why. Things change, settings change all the time. But yeah, you would just do your normal, bring it up, bring it down, and that's just there. But it's, I mean, it's just, they did, after this, they then did Film Look Creator and things like that. So you could theoretically grade like that. I mean, it's just normalizing your footage from log to Rec 709, and you do everything on top of that. The problem with this, and the reason to avoid touching that, is because what you have happen is you're dealing with, you've already constricted the information that you have to work with to a Rec 709 gamut. When you look at, like, say, on the scopes, and you see that CIE plot, let's see if we just bring that back. That scopes right now, the DOMI one on the second plot, that go the CIE plot, that's all the relative color data you could have. But that small triangle, that is just Rec 709. So you've, at this point, gone from the log, which has all the information you want, to a box that is small and saying, we'll work with that. I guess that's okay. And that's why I say I would normally grade it the way I would grade it, which is to say something like this. Let's apply this. We have here, let's undo that so we can just see side by side. So this is just the stock LUT, and we'll grab that still, and we'll be able to compare that to how I would grade it, which is to set up my fixed node tree. This is my one layer fixed node tree right here. We can turn all this off so you aren't distracted. And what we have is, we're going from, we're managing our color management nodes, and we're going from here. Let's bring up that still side by side. So that's the finished product from the LUT version. So we would go from our log to Davinci Wide Gamut, Davinci Wide Intermediate, because I want to work with all my tools in a unified color space. So I want to bring all from the camera space to that unified space. And then on the end, we have, this is Tesseract, so it's a DRT. And you can see all it's doing is going from Davinci Wide Gamut to Rec 709, and it's got some fancy math going on there. You can watch the other videos on DRTs there. But what you see is there is slight differences, not much. Should we line that guy up? Like when we play that still back, and it is functionally still, bring it up. So here, Tesseract on, Tesseract off. There's functionally no difference to how Tesseract is functioning. We can play around with, what if we switched to JP249? Well, you can see a difference there, that there's a line down the center, that as we play it and turn it on, turn it off, it's affecting the blues differently, and that's your DRT making some initial look dev choices. Very similar would be OpenDRT. You can see how that is. This would be my preferred one. But you can see how it's affecting the blues, slightly different than that LUT. And that's all that math to get there. But instead of working after or under that LUT, I have much better math at my disposal to grade. So I would normally start from the right of my note tree and work my way back. So these tools right here are the ones that I would turn on first, as they are the ones that I'm using to shape the contrast curve. And kind of just draw up a sharper contrast curve. And this is where I'm doing my look dev here at this point, and things like that, and just kind of making it be. We can turn that still off and you can see all of it. And then we can go turn that off and just general, oops, it's a daisy. Contrast curve there. We got the split here, but I mean, this is how I grade anything. It doesn't really change whether I'm doing Slog or anything like that, because I've put everything into a box. And this, I am loving. Like, I have different ways of doing split curves, but this is just so easy and intuitive that I don't really ever want to go. I have a vision for what I want, and I'm going to get there. Boo boo. Just going to stand that up and then bring down that high just a notch. And that. And now we have that, and we can turn those curves off. And we just drew everything, and you can see just from right there the changes we made to Tesseract. We've kind of darkened it up. We've made a little bit sharper contrast. We can bring up that still. So that's the original, just the LUT coming from Slog to Rec 709. And this is turning on and off, going from OpenDRT to how we've started to shape a curve and split tone and things like that. So it kind of just depends. I'm just playing it by ear right here. But after I've done that and have my look, because that's what I'm going to do. So if we go to here, this is that same LUT that is on the footage, which is that Slog LUT going to Rec 709. And we can grab, let's see here, let's get a good shot. Let's just grab that still. And we can go and do the same thing, apply this grade here. And we can play that still back and see the differences. So if we did just use the LUT to get from Sony S-Log to Rec 709 and then grade it around that, like, it just feels way different than if we use OpenDRT and a little bit sounder pipeline for thinking through about handling our footage. And now this section, what's going on between here, this shot, and this shot, and now we can go here with this shot and turn that still off. This is all the same look. Contrast curve, split toning, and everything, and then the OpenDRT. So this is our look section right there. Then you would come back after you've established that as your out. Everything's in Davinci Wide Gamut. You'd come back and turn on here and start to make adjustments. So the other two shots are definitely brighter, and I'm probably going to be bringing this one up a little bit and bring up the shadows and just give it a little bump, and then kind of just bring in the gamma right there. This node here is working in gamma linear and everything like that. And then I might shift the color balance. I'm not 100% sure. This is a very bluish scene, and so I'm not too sure I want to mess with it too much. I'm probably going to come back in and work on his skin individually. But we come here and go, well, that's very bright, and things like that. And we got some issues with that, so just working, we're going to just bring down that brightness quite a bit, and probably bring up the gamma just to get it situated in a little bit more of a happy place where it would seem natural. I mean, he's on a walk. Who knows? It's early morning. kind of playing with that. Gonna pull a lot of that heat out because those other two shots are very blue and things like that. So then we go next clip. Sky is a little bit more bleached out, but that's all right. I'm not too concerned. Just grading it here. And the cool thing is, we have this look, this pipeline. If we were on a completely different scene of S-Log footage, we just scrub through here, find something. I know it was S-Log. So this is S-Log here, which we can see here. If we go like this, just pipe this over. This is the S-Log LUT. You can see I was planning to come here before we run out of time. And so you could grab this still and then go back and just say, hey, I want this look that we were working on. I'm going to turn these two off because that's all done. And this is the look that matches that other one. And you can see just the difference right there. You can turn off the look and turn off the look and see this is just going out OpenDRT versus the baseline LUT. And then we bring in that look that we had. It's a little bit darker right there. We could bring this back up, turn that off, and reset it. Kind of just bring up his exposure a little bit. And then the next node, probably definitely would want to just push just a little bit. Kind of give it that little bit cyan boost in terms of how I'm feeling about it. But what's really cool about how we built the look is, if you see the split, it kind of blued out those whites a little bit, and it just gives him a lot more separation behind the back end. And we can do some things in here as well. I have a DCTL that I use. This is from mono nodes, and we're going to just pick red, and we're going to tell it we really only want to see his hair. So we're going to actually dial this down until we get rid of as much as we can of his skin, as much as we can of everything. We're really just selecting his hair. A little bit of hers, and that's fine. I'm not too concerned about that. And now we can really just change his hair around and go give him any hue we want very nicely, easily, and kind of give a little bit more separation from his skin. Kind of just bring that up and just bring down, maybe bring in that density a little bit. Just desanity. Yeah, that's not bad. You can see the difference there. Just bring out that shine out of it a little bit. And there you have it. Tippity-tappity, tippity. But that is how I would grade S-Log footage. The same way I would just grade anything. Is set up a node tree, get it all into a working space, and pick a sound, sensible display transform. If you want to learn more about display transforms, you can watch these other videos over yonder.